I'm Mike Jurecki with 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports Station, doing the Blitz with Birch and Berry weekdays, 10 a.m. to noon, right here on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports Station. Now let's talk about the latest with Sam Bradford agreeing to terms on a one-year deal, close to $20 million with incentives. The Cardinals will bring him in tomorrow, give him a physical, do a thorough check on the knee. According to Mike Zimmer, he has a degenerative knee. It's basically bone on bone. So the two questions that come up on Sam Bradford, mobility and durability, because he's going to get hurt. He's only played one 16-game schedule. He was the best option at this point. The Cardinals are still going to draft a quarterback, whether it comes in the first or second round. They got to find that future quarterback at some point. Maybe they're going to have to move up in the first round for the top four. And now they're going to have to bring in another veteran quarterback because we know Bradford hasn't been able to stay healthy. In the perfect world, he stays healthy for all 16 weeks, and this team could possibly get to 9 or 10 wins. Now, Mike Glennon's being mentioned as a backup quarterback, not a starter. So Bradford will be the starter in week 1. Mike Glennon could be an option. He's got a small sample in his career. Obviously signed with the Bears last year. They drafted Mitch Trubisky. So he's available. I thought maybe he would return to Tampa. They re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. So Glennon is an option for a backup quarterback here. Again, probably a one-year deal, $4 to $5 million. And then the Cardinals will draft a quarterback. They'll have 3 quarterbacks on the active roster. Now, come game day, you're only allowed to draft 46. So I got to think the rookie will be inactive, but he'll be on the 53. They could bring in a 4th quarterback for off-season workouts, training camp, more of a practice squad guy. Now, the priority has to be to address the offensive line, because right now you got DJ Humphries. Cardinals have yet to make an official decision on Mike Upati. Maybe it's time to move on from him. And then you got Jared Valdir. It looks like Valdir may take a pay cut, so now you have your left and right tackle. Evan Boehm and A.Q. Shipley are going to battle out the center spot. And so you're going to have at least possibly 2 new guards. And it's a really good deep draft at guard, not at tackle. So getting Valdir to take a pay cut would go a long way, so you don't need a right tackle. They got to address the interior. We could have 3 new starters on the offensive line for the upcoming season. Then you got to address the wide receiver position, because after Larry Fitzgerald and David Johnson, there's a need there. The Cardinals have contacted Ryan Grant from the Washington Redskins, wide receiver, about 6 feet tall. He's more of a possession guy. They got to get the development of Chad Williams, a former third-round pick a year ago, and then J.J. Nelson has to get better in his route running and cut down on the drops. The Cardinals were second in the NFL last year with 38 drops. Then let's go to the tight end position. Jermaine Gresham's coming off a ruptured Achilles. He did that in Week 17, so I can't count on him. Troy Nicholas, unfortunately, didn't pan out. Second-round pick, had some freak injuries. Time to move on. Then you got Ifeanyi Moma. The Cardinals want to tender him at a lower rate. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. And I know everyone's intrigued with Ricky Seals-Jones. He has 10 catches in his career. Now, granted, 3 were for touchdowns, but he's raw. He's a wide receiver playing tight end. He's got to get stronger. He's going to have to learn new playbooks. So let's pump the brakes on Ricky Seals-Jones. Defense. They need to add another defensive lineman. Corey Peters is under contract. Josh Morrow was disappointing last year, playing through some injuries. I'm intrigued with Olsen Pierre or Xavier Williams. Time for Robert Kemdichi to do something. They got to add a defensive lineman. Corner. They want to retain Tremont Williams, 35 years old. Probably going to have to pay more than a minimum deal. He's a plug-and-play guy. They will draft a corner in the draft. It's a deep draft. You can get a corner in the first, second, or third round. And then you look at inside linebacker. Who's going to be behind Dayon Buchanan and Hassan Reddick? I think they're going to try to retain Josh Bynes and move on from Carlos Dansby. They got to get another guy there for depth. So they have to address the offensive line, tight end, wide receiver. Corner they'll do in the draft and free agency by retaining one of their own. Inside linebacker. And according to Ken Summers, Tyrann Mathieu is going to restructure his contract, so that means he's willing to take a pay cut, and I'll give him credit there because I thought it was a done deal. I'm shocked that he's coming back. I don't even know if Matthew's a starter on this team. You got Budda Baker, you got Antoine Bethea. We'll see about Tyvon Branch coming off an ACL injury. Teams are going 4 and 5, 3 and 4 wide 60% of the time. So you're going to have to find a role for Mathieu. Is he playing the slot, or does that go to Budda Baker? I don't think he's guaranteed to start, but considering how many times teams are playing nickel and dime defense, there is a role for Tyrann Mathieu. This is the first season where second season, he hasn't had to deal with any kind of rehab. So hopefully he's rejuvenated. I did think he played much better in the second half of the season, but now that he's willing to take a pay cut to stay here, that tells me he wants to be here. Maybe he had 1 foot out and 1 foot in last year. Maybe he was playing out to get hurt. But it'd be interesting to roll. He's more a versatility player now for the Arizona Cardinals. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, everything will become official. They have a plan, and now they solidified the quarterback position, but they still will draft a quarterback in the upcoming draft. You can count on that. They need to, because Bradford may only last a year, team option for the second year. Make sure you keep it on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports Station. We'll have the latest on the Cardinals and NFL free agency. I'm Mike Jurecki, 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports Station.
98.7 FM, Arizona's Sports Station.